Hello and welcome to Star Citizen Sunday with me, Ryan, aka Sifu Messiah. This is a weekly show which covers everything from the world of Star Citizen over the past week. Links can be found in the description for everything we discuss, so let's get on with it. So it's just a small show this week as there wasn't a 10-4 and not really much information released. It does seem like most of the work and people are focused on 2.0, so kicking us off today will be Around the Verse. I would just like to say a quick thank you to Wally Cruz, who has become our latest patron. Thank you so much for supporting Star Citizen Sunday. If you are still to sign up to the RSI website, please use my referral code as shown on screen or in the description, and you'll receive 5,000 United Earth credits which can be spent in the Voyager Direct store for your ships, your character, or whatever you choose. You don't have to spend anything to sign up. It's only once you pledge that I'll be granted an RP point, which will get me some little rewards in the future. So on this week's Around the Verse episode 2.09, Sandy and Ben just explained that 2.0 continues on the PTU. They are patching almost daily and they are now up to patch H. And the third anniversary sale, which finished last week, was the biggest they've had yet. Straight on to news from around the verse, starting with the LA office. Most focus is on the 2.0 getting it fixed so it's ready for live. There's pretty much a 24-hour cycle between all studios, so when one studio is closing for the day, they hand it over to the next. They also said that they're working on a concept for a beefy caterpillar. I have no idea what this could mean, but we'll have to wait and see. Also, the new EMP weapon is having some new features, mainly in ships that have been affected by it, where your lights will start flashing and your screens will start flickering. Very cool. On to Austin, Texas. They have been having discussions about jump point travel. This is how you'll get to Nix with the new Levski system coming online sometime soon. They said they've got some cool artwork, which we have seen before. I'll show it for all you new guys. This was at South by Southwest last year, or this year, I believe. They're also pushing lots of patches for the PTU 2.0, and this was even during Thanksgiving. A lot of them were working, so thank you very much for your hard work. They're doing a deep dive on the first iteration for character customization, so we should expect to see that soon as well. Very excited for this. They're getting clothing assets back to allow NPCs and eventually us to have different clothing throughout the world. Very in-depth will the character customization be, and they did say that things like skin tone, hair, and your face will be coming soon after. So Foundry 42 in the UK. They've been ramping up since September, and they've now hired 20 new staff in all different areas. They are looking forward to the December live stream, which I believe is on the 16th. Currently, they say they're mainly focused on 2.0, and they are planning ahead for 2.1, which will be the first update after this 2.0 goes live. Foundry 42 in Frankfurt say they are currently working on the core engine. They're working on physics, animation, and audio code and optimization. They're also working with the UK team for Squadron 42 and pushing things like weapons, environments, visual effects, and also character rigging too. Plus, of course, lots of game optimizations and bug fixing, which is always important. So after this, we had a little interview with the live ops team or operations team, and they're just showing us what they look for when they create a new patch. If you are interested, please follow the links below and then find the links to their interview. From there, Jared sat down this week for the Around the Verse interview with Tony Zurovec, who, if you do not know, is a huge part of Star Citizen. He is the director of the Persistent Universe, and when he starts talking, everybody starts listening. This was part one of his little interview, and he's talking about things like the next milestones for 2.0. He did say that there will be specific enhancements for the release of 2.0 when visiting the Area 18. It'll be more interesting, apparently. Also, the Million Mile High Club, where if you are actually a member, this is a little private lounge, a sort of private community area for players who have access, obviously, but they can invite other people, so do drop me a line if you are a member. You get your private doorman, you've got your private barman. It's a great place to meet everyone and just discuss missions in private, rather than people earwagging in places like the G-Lock bar. Eventually, you will be able to put your own trophies, souvenirs, your own pictures, so you'll be able to decorate your own Million Mile High Club bar how you want it. And the same goes for your hangar. You will be able to buy things like a small trophy, maybe, he says an example, in the small bazaar market area of Nix, and then send it to your hangar, maybe put it in your ship, which is cool, or obviously the Million Mile High Club. Now he says when it comes to things like instances, they have the generic instance manager, which it takes lots of things into account when you're heading into a certain area. For example, people you know, people you're avoiding, also everything down to, say, your ability at the game. It will match you with specific people, so you're going to have a better experience. And he says when using the elevator, it will show you the different instances which your friends are in. And currently in the PTU, if you join a party and then go in to try and join a match and you see the instance which is available, below that will show you where your contact or your friend is, and you can join his instance. So this will be something that we can use within the 2.0 once it goes live. After the Million Mile High Club, he says that things like shopping and the Kasaba outlet will be available. You can buy clothes of many different types. They will utilize utilize some kind of currency which is still to be determined, purchase and then customize your characters. This will also test the new persistence. As said before, you will be able to modify your skin tone and your hair. This will likely be for 2.1, but they're not sure how much of this will be in the first iteration, so you'll get a little taster, but it won't be the full feature. And they said that on Saturday, so yesterday unfortunately, was the 25th anniversary of Wing Commander's Secret Missions add-on. The most valuable post went to a Jack Frack for showing the first cargo hole in the PTU, where he managed to shoot a cargo unit onto his Avenger, transport it back to a landing zone, and then kick it off somehow as well. Very cool. Anyway, the sneak peek finally is the new Freelancer screens, which I know I have seen, but they are very, very impressive, and I cannot wait to take a look at the new Lancer. Anyway, tell me your thoughts. What did you like? What don't you like? So in this week's weekly update regarding the 2.0, they say they've managed to get on top of the worst of the stability and performance issues. They have unlocked up to the UEE number 220,000th, so if your UEE number is within there, then you will have access. They did say they're not quite out of the woods to go to live just yet, but they have noticed dramatic improvements over the last couple of builds, and I must concur with that. It is getting a lot more stable, less crashes, easier to get in. They say most of the recent builds have been having issues because of a slowdown bug, and its appearance has interrupted the string of daily PTU updates, but they seem to be back on course again. They're doing some balance work on the Constellation and Retaliator to get them tuned up and feeling right. They're hard at work figuring out the arms and armor, and they say please keep in mind that this is the very first pass, so it'll only get better from now on. Anyway, that was again very short and sweet, so tell me your thoughts. So also this week we had a behind the scenes post bringing us the Frankfurt office. CIG brought us a new company portfolio called Bioticorp, which I've not read yet but does look interesting. There was a new discovered post highlighting some of the more moral decisions Navy pilots may face while out on operations. It's certainly worth the read, very interesting, and it just sheds some light into what we may discover out there in the verse. Bug Smashers episode 16 was released too, so use the link in the description to check it out. And finally, as you have probably seen already, the official Alpha 2.0 trailer was released. It's either played already or it's playing now. Don't forget to check out our affiliates page for some great deals on tech and stuff. Any product bought gives us a little kickback. If you want to support us more directly, then follow the link to our Patreon page. Thank you. So that brings us to the end of the show. Thank you for watching, and thank you to our subscribers, plus a massive thank you to our patrons as you make this possible. If you like what we do and want to help us make it better, follow the link in the description to our Patreon page to learn more.